Yo, what is up everyone? My name is Dom and we're going to talk about unusual options activity. Alright, let's kick it off with the disclaimer. So, disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only. The statements made in this programming are solely the opinion of the show and are not a specific inducement to make an investment. One must perform their own due diligence and realize that all investments carry risk. There's no guarantee of profit. Alright everyone, first one I want to start out with is Ford. Now, there was some pretty, now, we've talked about Ford on this channel before. This is a pretty cheap stock, so it does trade a lot of options. But, you know, if you come into these June 11th, 15.5 strike calls along with these 16 strike calls, there was a lot of options that traded here. Now, I decided to take a flyer on these options. They expire Friday. I think when I bought these, they were only about 18 to 20 cents each. So what I did is I bought the 15.5 strike and then I sold the 16.5 strike. So we paid about 20 cents for something that can go to $1 if it blows through, if the stock closes above 16.5 on Friday. Now, mind you, that's such a good risk reward there because this is such a cheap stock and it's going to take a lot. It's a big percentage move for Ford to close above 16.5. Normally it'd be like, pay $33 to make 100, or it'd be pay $40 to make 100. But since this is such a cheap stock and 16.5, is pretty far out of the money there. It was pay 20 cents to make $1. And once again, that's just because it's a cheap stock and 16.5 is pretty far out of the money there. Now, this is just a flyer. I did not put a ton of money on this one at all. They're about 20 cents each. There was a nice order that I saw. Someone coming in putting down multiple $100,000. So, I figure I just, put a small position on here and, kind of just take a flyer. Now, this one has traded down. This thing, Ford presented at some conferences and they came out with some electric vehicle data. So, this stock has really taken off, and as you can see here, it definitely is getting overbought here. But that's why I like using options here, because especially an option that expires on Friday, it's extremely cheap to control 100 shares here. So it's kind of a flyer, small position. We can make a nice chunk of change. Like I said, if it gets up to the 1650 level by this Friday, so only a couple days away, we can make a nice chunk of change. If it closes at 1650 on Friday, we pay $20, it'd be worth $100. So that's the nice thing about options, especially options that expire extremely relatively in a short time frame, because you can achieve the full value of the spread really easily if the stock just makes a minor move. But the trade-off there is the trade has to work. In this case, it has to work in 2 days. So if Ford is down tomorrow, this trade is probably not going to work out, because then we only have Friday for this trade to work. Right now it's Wednesday evening, so we have Thursday and Friday. Alright everyone, next one I want to bring up is TripAdvisor. Now, I believe I brought this one up on the channel before. I did not end up getting into it, but there was some more call buying here today in these August 45 strike calls. Now, usually I decide to go with a vertical spread on these unusual options activity trades, but because this one is out in August, and because I like the fact that this one has pulled back quite a bit here, I think this one also does have quite a high short interest on it, which is kind of explained by the big move in the chart. This stock has moved up a lot here, but 9,000 contracts traded here of these August 45 strike calls. This is a kind of a little bit out of the money call here. The stock is at about $42.80. So we're buying a call that's a couple dollars out of the money here, but we're going out till August. So I like somebody who is going out in time. It shows that they're bullish on this stock for the longer term. It does kind of mean that they might expect it not to shoot up right away. So that's the thing, with people buying longer dated calls, you don't know if the stock's going to make a move right away, or if they're buying it because they want to buy themselves a little bit of time because they're not sure if it's going to go up right away. So sometimes with these ones that go out a little further, you have to be a little more patient with it. Like I said, I think this thing has about 20% short interest or so. But I like the stock regardless. I think people are going to be using TripAdvisor a lot, especially because of reopening of the economy. Consumers, the balance sheet of the consumer is, probably the best it's ever been. You know, a lot of people who have jobs are doing really well. They have not traveled in, you know, a huge amount of time, you know, a year and a half. So, you know, I think that TripAdvisor is a great reopen play here. You know, this thing kind of got run up with the reopening, you know, went from about 20 to 64. You know, so this thing has pulled back quite a bit here, and you know, I like it at this 40 level. You know, it's pulled back considerably, you know, 20 points, or you know, almost about 50% it's pulled back. You know, we kind of seem to be consolidating around this 150-day moving average here, this green line, a little bit above it. You know, it bounced here, kind of came up a little too fast, and you know, it seems to be making a nice move here. So we're in these calls, everyone, and we will see what happens. All right, everyone. Thanks to everyone who's been subscribing. I really appreciate it. I'm super grateful for, you know, all the subscribers, you know, all the comments. You know, leave a comment down below if you got any questions. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the content, so I know to keep making videos like this one. And we'll see you in the next one, everyone.